Our story begins with the monk's tale. As they all decided to go down the merry way, everyone, the host, the wife of Bath, and everyone, I begin my tale by talking about it. Ha ha, and here we go. People, can I have your attention as I begin my tale? Over here, please. The monk would like to tell his tales of tragedies. And so it begins.
If you raise the prices.
So, as the monk begins his tale, I would like to talk, let no man trust in blind prosperity, be warned by these old and true examples. You're not allowed to do all your old and true examples, said the knight. All right, let me just talk about a couple of them. How about Lucifer and Adam? That was a tale of tragedy. Samson, Hercules, Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, Zenobia, King Pedro of Spain, King Peter of Cyprus, Barnardo of Lombardy, Count Ugolo of Pisa, Nero, Harvagnes. Oh my goodness, look at all these names. I mean, totally said the rest of them. But one stood out. The story of Julius Caesar. And now I'm beginning. Quiet up, Billy. Julius Caesar, he was a great man who had many great things, the king of Rome. The only problem was his friends didn't see that they liked that he had all the power, especially his friend Brutus. And so Caesar was stabbed many times to death, and he was dead. Shame was the tragedy of young Caesar. But our story does not begin there. Our story begins with the Count of Pisa, who was a great king, loved by his people and loved by everyone, even his dog. Yes, quite. But sadly, he was betrayed by his best advisor. I totally don't like that guy. I'm going to betray him. He didn't hear that, though, because for reasons I do not know. And then, one day, he was thrown into prison. Behind bars, he didn't know what to do. Every day, the man came in with some food for him to eat. Here you go, evil king. Have your dinner today. The food was always gross, but the king and his lovely son always shared it together so they could keep up the strength one day. But that all changed one day when the last guard opened the door and left and did not come back to see the king ever again. Now it's been almost a week with no food for him or his children. His children started to notice, and if you looked, you could see a hand reaching up for food. It's almost asking where the food was that day. Shoo, shoo, child, no food for you. Shoo. The king now knew that something was wrong after he knew for the first couple days no food has come. You could hear his son say,
Father, why is there no food?
The father did not know how to tell his son that no food was coming. He was so upset that him and his son would get no food, he began to gnaw on his arm. His son said, Father, why are you gnawing on your arm? He said, Father, eat me instead. Don't eat yourself. The dad didn't know how to tell his son that he wasn't eating his arm out of hunger, but out of sadness and forgiveness. His son later passed away. So sad. Then, a few nights later, the king himself also passed away out of hunger. Dramatic death. So sad.